Hey, what's up, Comment? How are you? Just realized that if I'm going to take calls, I kind of need my headset. Where I put that? Hey, Riley, how are you? Welcome, welcome. Kind of a impromptu little live. Don't really have anything planned, so I'm gonna sort cards like I was last time. This time I do have like a hand cam. The camera quality on that is not very good. Q&A like normal. Probably go for an hour or two. And yeah, we'll go. I wanted to do like live calls and have people come into the Discord, but I don't know where I put my headset. Um, which is kind of annoying. Volume on the stream is low. I don't know how to change that. Is that better? Should be closer to me. I'm not speaking too loud. Is this a little bit better? The mic should be closer to me now. Okay, cool. Well, cool. Let me go ahead. Yeah, maybe it's OBS. The mic is showing that it's good to go and it's at the max volume for me. So I'm not 100% sure what that could be. Hey, how's it going, Ice Cold Poppy? How are you? Yeah, I'm not sure. Well, while we're kind of firing this up, let me go ahead and start. Okay. Can the people currently in chat hear me? I think Riley said it's fine. Um, Great and sounds good. Oh, I don't know, Comment. Might be on your side. Might be on your side. Okay. Lighting is good. Hey, thanks, Alan. Welcome. Okay, so while I'm kind of sitting here, I'm going to just start listing cards. I've been kind of listing stuff all day. But feel free to... Shoot, now I don't... Okay, well, this was like super unorganized. Oh, Bravery? Oh, okay. Cool. I've been thinking about it in the Discord asking you guys to put your first names because I don't know who, like, to me, it's kind of weird to call people by their Discord names, especially when you guys join the calls every once in a while. Like, I don't want to be like Bravery in chat. So, I know. So, I was using this keyboard and it broke. So, I've had this keyboard. I guess I can show you down here. I've had this keyboard for a while and, like, now it doesn't work. So, yes, using a terrible keyboard right now. I'm way too cheap to buy a new one. Let me push this back and then kind of load up some stuff. So, as I was saying, been listing cards all day. Going through inventory. I've got all my pre-rotation stuff listed, and now I'm moving on to Sun and Moon and stuff. I want to hold on to like Battle Styles Forward because I don't know how the meta is going to shake out. I don't want to preemptively list anything. Oh, that's why it's in here. Oh, gotcha. Okay. All right. I found my stuff. I've been kind of doing this for sorting. Started by set, sorted everything by set, then sorted everything by first letter. Now, as I'm listing it, I'm going to sort it by like second letter in the alphabet. I opened a wholesale account with BCW and ordered a bunch of supplies through them that I'm waiting to receive. I'm going to move that over there so that it's actually in the camera. But that's kind of what this is these are all the cards from Unbroken Bonds sorted by the first alphabet. The glare is really bad on this webcam, which is kind of unfortunate. Hey, how's it going, Emilio? How are you? I swear we'll get a better camera. The Facecam camera is different, so the quality should be better there, but the webcam itself is kind of terrible. But at least there is something for my hand. Because I think last stream I was just like looking up and down, which kind of got confusing. But yeah, so we'll go ahead and start listing stuff. If you guys are in here, feel free to drop any questions in the chat. If I can find my headphones, which I don't know where I put them, then I might start taking viewer calls through the Discord. But for now, I'm going to open up TCGplayer and truck along, keep listing stuff. And yeah. I've been using the pricing tab a lot to list stuff, and it is so much better. Angle of the light different, might be that. Yeah, it might be because... Alright, one sec. Nico Alvas, why are you so cute? That's kind of better. So the way I have it set up is there's like fluorescent lights in the basement, and then I have actual like studio lights as well. So I guess that's kind of better. The glare is not as good, and the focus is kind of bad, I guess. But it might be a little bit of an improvement. Nico, I'm so excited to see you in March. I'm gonna try and make it down to North Carolina and road trip with you. So if you want to come over, feel free to stay at my house. I know you'll be going to Rahul's, but you can come here anytime. So we want Pokemon, set names, Unbroken Bonds, conditions. I've just been doing like TCGplayer, near mint, lightly played, moderate played, rarities, and then I'm pretty much only listing bulk, so I just uncheck everything. Then export the CSV. Unbroken bonds. Hi, the Lab TCG. I watched your video on how to start selling. I was wondering if it's worth it to still open an eBay TCGplayer account if I'm located in Canada. Yeah, to my knowledge, I don't think Canada has TCGplayer, but eBay, absolutely. If you want to start selling cards, eBay's still a fine place to do it. For a lot of the bulk stuff, you're going to want to list them at $1.99 because I think that's what the floor price on eBay is. But generally speaking, yes, I would say it's worth it if you're trying to run a store. Right, and comments right. There is room because the U.S. there's a ton of sellers. Not that there isn't room for more U.S. sellers, but more so the fact that it's just competitive. All right, so I'm getting this set up. Nico, are you going to Australia this weekend? I know Fool's on his way right now. Interesting. Yeah, you are going to Australia? Okay. If you don't win, you kind of suck. Like, I don't know that your placements have been very good recently. So, and then like I'm gonna get roasted by you because who knows? Maybe you have placed this year. I don't know. I haven't really kept up with it. Okay, so this is kind of what I've been doing. So as you can see, like I've sorted everything. Oh wow. Okay, so the webcam's over here. So sorry that the focus is terrible, but I guess it's better than nothing. So there's the Aeron, and then there's Blacephalon. So what I've been doing is sorting everything like that first, and then when I'm listing it, I'll just kind of put everything down like this, and then let TCGplayer do the sort order for me. Because to be honest, when I'm going through these, it is so hard to kind of figure out what is what in terms of sort order. Like sitting there and looking at, okay, like does A, like basically doing a second alphabetical sort to me just gets so tiring. So I'd rather just let TCGplayer tell me the order of the cards and kind of do it that way. How can I make this better? Hey, how's it going, Axtro? Okay, I mean, I guess that's fine. Do you open your own product to sell the singles? No, I do not. I do not open product pretty much ever. I've been thinking about doing pack breaks, but I wouldn't be like doing that to sell the singles. So, okay, so the first card in the TCGplayer library is Aggron, this rare, and they're both basically LP. So on my main screen, I have Excel open, and I'm just going to add and look at whatever the market price is for the cards, and then just kind of keep going. So it's pretty simple. And then eventually I want to have dividers in between all the cards. Okay, so I need to move more this way. Cool. You have tons of Cosmic Eclipse and green knockout boxes, D21 tins, and pin blisters. Should I hold on to them? And what's the best way to sell? Break and sell packs or sell items as is? Tons of Cosmic Eclipse and green knockout box. Is knockout box a collection box? And what's a D21 tin? I would assume they're all sealed. Personally, if you bought the sealed product to hold on to it long term, then I would just stick to that thesis. No point in selling it. But if you need the money, then yeah, go ahead and sell as is. I feel like you'd probably, if the Cosmic Eclipse is what's valuable, you might get the most money by just selling the packs. So 6 and 1 of Alolan Diglett. Dug Trio. Mint. Honestly, I think probably one of the most annoying things about doing all this is condition checking. It's been a long time since I've listed cards, so kind of getting back into the swing of things has been a little interesting. One and 3. What's that? These are from Unbroken Bonds. Then I'm just off to the side. I'm putting anything that doesn't fit like moderately played or above. If it's like a common and I have a bunch of moderately played, I just won't list it. So I'm just gonna stick to the LP stuff. Okay, so this is Arcanine. Are these all hollows? Yes. This card used to be good in the Reshiram and Charizard decks in 2019. And rightfully so, the card is $1.08, so that's cool. That 9 cents. Then come down here. LP. Yeah, listing on TCGplayer. So I have everything sorted by set and by first alphabet, and then I'm just going through TCGplayer and listing them that way. Got some Aromatisse, 3 LPs. To my surprise, so far I've listed Shining Fates back to Unified Minds, and haven't found too many hit bulk things. I know before I left there was a ton of good cards in there from these sets, so really interesting to see how the bulk market's kind of fallen. 4 1 So, and this is kind of what I've been doing. So I'll have everything first sorted, and I'll just kind of break everything out, and then let the TCG player Excel sheet tell me what goes next. So if we scroll down, Beastbringer is the first one. I have a ton of these. I remember when Buzzwole Pheromosa was doing really well in Japan, and everyone thought this card was going to be insane, but then they released Buzzwole in the same set as Reshiram and Charizard, and with Buzzwole Pheromosa being weak to fire, did not do too hot in the States. Pokemon Bolt can be so depressing. Yeah, big time. 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Yeah, I agree with you, Elo. Like, I think one of the reasons I enjoy doing bulk sales so much is when I was younger, I would like go to garage sales and stuff and find, collections, and even like going through local game stores bulk and just kind of seeing what you can find, seeing what's underpriced. I just love like paying close to nothing for cards, and then you find a card that's worth a decent amount. I mean, I think I've said it in videos, but like I've found gold stars in bulk before. That's obviously super cool. But for me, it's like a treasure hunt. And I mean, after you do it a billion times, it's not as mystical. But I think my favorite part of the process is when I get a collection for the first time. It's that initial scan through that you're like, okay, what's in here? Then maybe you find pre-release promos, or you find, I don't know, some holo that's really interesting. But yeah, the bulk hunt is probably my favorite part. As soon as I like find all the interesting stuff in the collection, then it's just kind of like, okay, well, now I have to process everything. But yeah, the hunt is definitely great. This Blacephalon, I guess I can just do like, oh man, I really need to get a better camera for this webcam because it looks so bad. But I just remember it's really fun for me for bulk too, because a lot of these cards are cards I've played. I don't know that I've played Blacephalon specifically, but when I used to play in tournaments, like I have played against this deck before. So for me, part of the fun is, since there's so many competitive bulk cards, just being able to like see cards that used to be good and kind of think about like, oh, I remember playing against Blacephalon. Like I remember I got finals at this one tournament with Zapdos from Team Up, and I played against this baby Blacephalon deck a bunch of times. It was supposed to be a bad matchup, but kind of ended up figuring it out along the way. But yeah, kind of going through and seeing like cards that used to be good is also really fun for me. And I have it to the side of me just in case we talk about it, but like I like to build the old decks. So let's go with something you guys might actually recognize. So like when I have friends over and stuff, we'll play with some of the older Pokemon decks. And like this is an example of Pikachu and Zekrom from 2019 Worlds. And like these are like fully functioning Pokemon decks that we can play with from different time periods. Have stuff from like 2010, 2015, 2017. I have a ton of them. Thoughts on eBay stamps? I would not do that. I think everyone that gets into this card world stumbles upon those at some point, and it's very tempting. So essentially what Alan is referring to is there's like counterfeit stamps on eBay that are significantly cheaper than actual US stamps, and to me it's just not worth getting in trouble, like real trouble, over a couple pennies. So I would definitely advise against that, even though it's very tempting to seek profits through that means. So that's my 2 cents. That's a different Cluffa. Robot. Chip Ice Axe. Broken card. Used to be very good in Pidgeotto and other stall decks. Ice Axe. Cubone. Charger Bug. Fable. Ice Axes. We got Funtime Wallace in the chat. Let's go. How's it going, Wallace? Yeah, if anyone has a Mewtwo and Mew GXs and a Latios GX that they want to sell me for a decent price, I'm all ears. I posted a thread in the Discord, so feel free to let me know if you have them. Because, I mean, I guess it makes sense, but I remember when Mewtwo's were like relatively cheap, maybe like $10, and now they're like 20. And I need 2 more for the old deck, because I guess I must have sold my Mewtwo's at some point. But yeah, need to build the Mewtwo deck from 2019. Funtime loves his plug stamps. What's my minimum on what? Stamps? I guess I don't really need my mouse for spell. No Carvana. Oh, I list everything, and then right now I have everything at 25 cents. I just wanted to get everything on there, and then I know at 25 cents not everything's gonna sell. So once I kind of list everything, kind of see where things are at, then I'll start adjusting prices. But I mean, so far, like, I kind of just list everything to keep it so that there's a floor. The stuff that's above that is selling, because that's my intention. And like, it's not super important to me that a bunch of these like low value cards sell. I think my strategy is I want to like have a ton of stuff so that if somebody decides they want to buy all this stuff from one seller, then they have that option. And I mean, you'd be surprised. People do pay $0.25 a card quite often. 4, 1, 2. But because I'm in TCGplayer Direct, not too big of a deal for me. And like, I know on Direct you have to be way more competitive, and it's okay to list things for like 5 cents, but for right now, haven't been doing that. Togetic and Togepi doing really well. No, that's good. Yeah, so I just basically what I'm doing is I just have I have TCGplayer's pricing sheet on the screen, sorting everything, and then just adding the Excel sheet as I'm going. And then I just look at the market price and then just add that. Chip Ice Axe. Let's market manipulate and push the floor. I'm worried, guys. I don't think you understand. That judge maneuver was something else. I mean, the judges are no longer selling for $4, but I guess I probably should have thought about it. Like, I want to post stuff in the Discord, but if I'm gonna post stuff in the Discord and everyone's gonna be like, oh, we can now just raise the price of judges to what Will's selling at, and change the market. I don't know. I'm not really trying to get banned from TCGplayer because I do really enjoy their service. Well, any advice for anyone just start selling on TCGplayer, having trouble getting any traction? Yeah, so on TCGplayer, it's really important that you try and get to level 4 as quick as possible because that's going to allow you to get free shipping, and then free shipping basically makes all your cards more attractive for purchase. So, Tony, it kind of depends on your situation. I think actually like the live stream is really great for giving specific advice. So, Tony, if you would elaborate a little bit more to kind of tell me, are you selling like high value cards, bulk cards? Kind of give me a little bit more about what your selling situation is, and I can give you a little bit more direct advice. I think that's one of the cool things about the live streams, is like I can give pretty direct advice versus the videos where I think it's better to speak generally, because it applies to more people. Fable. Yeah, $4 for judges. Like, it was just so weird. Like, I just saw everyone had their judges listed for 25 cents, but everyone only had one. So I was like, well, I should list mine higher, basically. I mean, there's definitely like there's a lot of pricing strategy that you can do on TCGplayer. I mean, I think one of the silliest things about the card business is everyone like the nature of newer sellers is to sell their stuff fast, which is fine, but you just get into these situations where everyone is listing their stuff for the bottom price, and like it ends up just hurting the market for sellers that are doing stuff like that have volume, and like it's a free market, so it's not a complaint by any means. Oh wow, is that card selling for 50 cents? No. But I think so many sellers are like, oh, I have one copy of this card, like I should just list it for 5 cents, and then when the sales history kind of kicks in and people are like, oh, I see stuff that sells lower, um, you know, then they start to list their stuff lower, and you see this a lot with the bulk lots where people get on, they bring their volume, and then they just undercut everyone, and it just brings it even lower. But 5, what are you gonna do about it? 5, 2. Oh wow. So Cleffa from Unbroken Bonds, 78 cents a card. That's pretty cool. Reverse. Are you fully selling Pokemon or also dwelling into other TCGs? If so, how do they go compared to Pokemon? Nope, strictly Pokemon. I was a competitive Pokemon player for quite a while. Have never, I mean, I've played Magic like once or twice, but have never really gotten into any of the other card games. And to me, I just know Pokemon so well, been in it for so long, have the connections in the game that I always just stuck to Pokemon. I've thought about starting to expand into other games, but more so to increase distribution allocations, not so much to sell other games. Like that's not really okay. I need to stop waving my hands because it is making the webcam all messed up. But yeah, that answers that. So I don't know how they do compared to Pokemon. I would assume Magic has probably a higher sales volume than Pokemon on TCGplayer. I'm still not understanding how you make money or how it's worth to sell cards under a quarter after fees and shipping, almost no money left. Yeah, so Jamie, generally speaking, if you are selling cards for a quarter and you're selling one, especially if your fixed costs on shipping supplies are high, you are going to lose money. Where you start making money is when people buy more than one card from your store. And without like an Excel sheet in front of me showing the fee structure of how that all works, if you get your shipping costs below like 60 cents and you set your shipping cost to $1, if they spend over $5 on your store, then you're going to net that amount after all those fees are taken out. So there's a little bit of math that goes into it. But my recommendation would be pull up Excel, chart out all the fees, the 2.9% plus 30 cents, and then look at your acquisition costs. Like there's so many factors that go into it, but generally speaking, the lower you can get your initial investment into the item, whether that's the shipping supplies or the card itself, that's what's going to offset the fees. So I think for a while my shipping cost was like 60 cents on plain white envelope singles, And when the dollar for shipping kicks in, or when they buy multiple cards, that's kind of how that offsets. But you're right, there is very small amounts of margin when you sell a single card for 25 cents with, a dollar shipping. Or at the time it was 78 cent shipping, and over time, like with inflation and supply chain and all the stuff that's kind of caused shipping supplies and whatnot to increase. Luckily, we saw TCGplayer increase the minimum threshold to 99 cents for shipping, but that's kind of like the costs have definitely increased. So it's a lot harder to just sell single cards as is and expect it to work. But yeah, there's a lot that goes into that. So let me know if you have any follow-up questions to what I just said. Yeah, rip 50 lots. That Crobat has been doing really well. Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm right about to list these after I get through these Crabrawlers and Cubones. I guess I have a similar question. I have a lot of bulk V-Star. I've been a long time eBay seller, but was looking to sell $5 and under on TCGplayer. Was curious on any advice. Yeah, so I have sorry. Let me do that. So, and I just kicked the webcam. Wow, this is janky. I'm glad that helps, Jamie. Okay, so for Alexander, so yeah, biggest thing is shipping. Like your all-in shipping cost has to be low. You can't sell cards that are cheap if your cost to ship something is $1.25. Yeah, just looking at the chat. You can't ship something if your cost is $1.25 and it's a quarter. And the biggest strategy there is trying to get people to buy a lot of stuff all at once. So that's why when I'm listing stuff, I'll list cards that I never expect to sell, because on the off chance that someone is completing their common uncommon set for a set, they come to my store, buy everything for a quarter, and then that margin on that order can cover some losses on other orders or stuff like that. When you're selling on TCGplayer Direct, it helps a lot because you don't incur some of those shipping costs to the buyer. You kind of get them on the back end, and then there's all sorts of a different fee structure. But I think that the bulk game has changed a lot since I used to sell non-direct. So I don't know if it's as profitable as it used to be, just the way things have increased in price. But generally speaking, make sure your costs are low and bank on people buying cards from your store in bulk. I'm also a big fan of setting a floor price. As I said earlier, I set everything on direct at 25 cents, which I think in the future I'm going to lower, because on direct I think that's acceptable. But on regular marketplace, like I wouldn't be listing cards for under a quarter. If you list a card for 10 cents and you have $1 shipping, you're just going to lose money. There really isn't a way to fix that. So that's kind of my 2 cents. And it's not worth your time either, because even if you're breaking even on a 10-cent sale, the math doesn't work. Tony, I'm still trying to figure out what to sell exactly. I don't have a lot of volume or duplicates of particular cards. Currently, I have Pokemon booster bundles up. Like I think when you're starting off, TCGplayer is best for selling cards that are worth something, and like basically non-bulk. So I think what I did when I started is I bought a collection for like $500, saved up money from other stuff, and then bought a collection for $500. I took everything, I bought it at like 60%, listed everything, and invested in bubble mailers and stuff to kind of get stuff going. And you want to do cards that are worth something when you're first starting out, because the you get to level 4 faster when you have tracking on your orders, because the standard plain white envelope takes about 8 days to like actually be an order that's completed, versus if you have a tracked envelope, you can get it all done in like 3 days. So if you have a bunch of cards to start off with ultra rare wise that you can just list and then ship and then track, you can hit level 4 within like a month. It's not terribly hard. But honestly, it's really hard to grow this business from like no money invested at first. So I would suggest like figuring out a different way to make initial capital first, whether that's your job or selling stuff on eBay or locally or couch flipping or whatever. But get a little bit of income first, and then take that and put it into the business. Because if you start with more money, it's going to grow a lot faster, and you're going to need to buy supplies. There's investments that you need to make, and yeah, so hope that helps that question. Okay, so Crobat. Honestly, I'm gonna like mess up the prices on these things, and then someone's gonna snipe all these things from me when I list them. Alex, what's your eBay store? Oh, I'm glad. I'm glad you like the videos. Thank you. Hey, what's up, Ragnarok? How are you? Yeah, what Tachi said is pretty close. If you do if you do the math in spreadsheets, like you can figure out pretty quickly what your break even point is and all that stuff. I don't have it in front of me. Yeah, Ragnarok is still out here doing arts and crafts. But yeah, I mean that's a decent way to like offset some of those starting costs if you can. Is you don't have to go out and buy BCW trays and all sorts of stuff. I mean it helps, but you don't have to. All right, next up onto the D. There's a lot of D's. Dust Island, never been good, and I have so many. Duskstone used to be very good. Drowsy. Diglett. Duststone. Darmaka. Level 100 crafter. I'm trying to think, like, feel like I've definitely done something similar in my business before, but I don't know. I think I just operated kind of lean for a little bit, and eventually bought those things. I mean, like I've used ETB dividers for the longest time. I'm now like today just finally switching those out for actual dividers, which is kind of exciting. Darmanitan, Diglett, Trio, Diglett, Drowsy. Dugong used to be very good too. Almost played that to international championships. I'm assuming the bulk you're going through is sorted by set. Yeah, so the bulk I'm going through is sorted by set and then first letter of the alphabet. And now it's I don't know why, but it's pretty difficult for me to do the second letter in the alphabet and like sort them at the same time with the alphabet. So what I've been doing is just set, then first letter alphabet, and then I have the TCGplayer pricing tab in front of me. And then as I'm going through, that's already in order. So I just kind of lay them out all like this, and then I'll just one by one pick up whatever cards I want. So like the first letter in like D is Darmanitan. So just quickly look at these one, and then I'll just add them to the catalog. I found that this is way faster than like sitting there and doing all those manual sorts, but I'm not too worried about the efficiency. The way I view it is this should be like one of the last times I sort cards, if this card sorter is any good. So just kind of having fun with it. Now we're on Devo Spray. Alright, Inoka. Leave for the military at the end of the month. Do you think it'll be worth sitting on bulk or just try to liquidate? Anything that is like when do you think you're coming back? If you're coming back within a year, then I would hold anything like Battle Styles on. Because competitive game's gonna kind of start evolving in the next couple months as Scarlet and Violet moves in. Some trainers might be good, some trainers might not be good. Like all those judges that I've had those judges for a while. So those were just from when I sat on them, and then now that the market has kind of adjusted for judge being really good and the hype around rotation, that's kind of how I had all those and just kept them. Yeah, Anoka, I'll buy your bulk. I think everyone here would. Yeah, the TCG player list is incredible. Honestly, is the card sorter a big clunky machine? I think the one I got is like relatively small. So I honestly don't know much about it. There's just like a couple videos about it on YouTube. If you want to look it up, you can. It's called the Magic Sorter, not sponsored. But yeah, you can look it up and kind of see for yourself. I think it has, it has enough trays for what I probably want to do with it, and I'm not too worried about it. It's way cheaper than all the other ones that are on the market, and like I wasn't about to drop $25,000 on a Roka or lease it. Like that just didn't. I don't know. That's just too much for something that's like a side hustle for me. But yeah, I'm hoping that this at least adds some efficiency and takes the majority of the sorting out of my hands. And then like it can make lots too. So one of the biggest profit drivers of my business over time was the random bulk lots, and like it can make those, so I don't have to have people help me or anything like that. So that's exciting. But yeah, I mean a lot of it is kind of up in the air. It's a cost of like $3,000. I'm gonna experiment it, make videos out of it. So yeah, it should be interesting. I'll be the test dummy, and I mean if the product's good, like I would highly consider buying a second one. So we'll kind of see how that goes. 5, 2, 3. Yeah, Ragnarok needs all the inventory. And Bravery in his Discord cleanse. That man is not allowed in Discord. Three. Shipping takes long. I mean, I guess it takes longer than like some of the other things, but interesting. I don't know. To me, shipping is like, I guess it is a part of the process, but it's not like shipping is like how you get paid. Like once everything's listed and stuff, like shipping is the final thing, and shipping is what makes you money. So I don't really like view shipping that way. But I guess like once you add pick into it, I can understand how that could get a little annoying. Conditioning is also just miserable. Like this is so annoying. Looking like I'm about to deal some hands of poker. Yeah. Well, I used to. I guess I could flex a little bit. Might be loud, but well, I mean, you guys all should have some experience with card games or something. Like people always told me that I shuffle super fast. I mean, like I used to play the game, so like I don't know. Is this wild to you guys, or have you seen enough card players to like not be surprised? And then like if you draw 7, oh that's just not 7. Like, speaking of, oh, who bought out those judges? I told someone to buy out the judges. Was it Anoka? No. I don't remember. I think you're in chat. Whoever bought out the judges, I'm pretty sure you're here. I just don't remember which Discord name bought it. See, this is why I need first names. It's hard for me to remember who's who. Okay, so it is a little unique. It's not completely wild. Or it's not completely outlandish. What am I doing? Oh. Are these my dust stones? Dust Island. Dead. Alright, now we're on to E's. Make sure this is on camera. Okay. Oh, I've played this card so many times. Electromagnetic Radar. Very good card. I used to play a lot of Pikachu and Zekrom. Alright, first up, Ekans. Four and two. Yeah, if you guys have questions in the chat, feel free to ask. I'm kind of just sorting to keep myself busy when there's not too much going on, but you can feel free to ask while I'm sorting. Any questions? Hey, how's it going, Chase? We're doing a little bit of a Q&A / listing sorting stream. The webcam quality is not very good, but just kind of going through TCGplayer pricing tab and listing stuff as we're going. I have a feeling in this electromagnetic radar stack we're going to find some that are like all played. Judge is not one of the ones that was worth listing when I searched, so I guess I'll have to check some bulk for some. Got 2 BCWs of trainers right now from the Comet deal. What? Oh, the Tennessee regional sold out? Oh, shoot. Did you guys see that they lowered the... Oh, yeah. See, here's an example. So this is probably one I played. Like, I have... Oh, that's not good. Oh, actually, sorry. I can just do this. Maybe? Yeah. That sucks. Did you see that they lowered the invite threshold? No, it's 350. We'll definitely have, like, one of these events, we'll definitely have to do a meetup. And then do, like, some sort of dinner or something. I mean, even locally in Maryland, there's so many people that have said that they're in Maryland from the chats and comments and all this stuff, so we'll have to do something. Rough to sell regular trainers on eBay. That's surprising. Yeah, it should be a lot easier for Kaze to get his invite now. Like the discussion we had the other day is like so much more feasible now that they lowered the invite threshold. I mean, 350, honestly, 350 is not a lot. So similar to what we were saying before, like if you're decent at the game, 350 is pretty attainable, in my opinion. I guess the unfortunate part is like half the season's over, but you know, I don't know. 350 is not that bad. You get good enough in a short period of time, especially if they bring back local events, which they haven't done yet, but 829. Will's buying his dinner? Yeah. I mean, shoot, if we get a meetup going at one of these events, it's a business expense. I'd be down. Unless there's like 30 people, like that could get a little sticky. Need to do a part 2 of the where to buy Pokemon cards video. Wait, I just found more. You want me to do a part 2 of where to buy Pokemon cards? I feel like I hit everything. What else would you want to know? Like the purpose of that video was to be like, yeah, these are like all the places you could be buying Pokemon cards if you didn't know you could buy Pokemon cards on Amazon or eBay or whatever. But like also trying to stress the point that the local stuff is really important. He's a VGC player, so nothing changed. And also, since he didn't get tickets to Tennessee, that means he has to get 297 in the last 2 tournaments. Oh yeah, because VGC 300, right? If you refuse to sell on TCGplayer, I'd sell playsets on eBay. Yeah, agree. Screen cap me saying what? I didn't say anything, bro. Yeah, playsets are 4 of in Pokemon. Chinese buffet, bro. What? Well, I guess I don't know. I'm curious to hear what everyone's favorite type of food is. I think if I were to host a dinner at an event and not break the bank, huh? I don't know, man. I'm pretty cheap. Like for a bunch of people, I feel like we could go to like a decent restaurant, preferably something that's like local to the city that's new. You know, give everyone an experience that they haven't tried before. But I don't know. When I go to Pokemon tournaments, my favorite way to celebrate, and like this is like very expensive, so usually it's only if money has been won or something like that. But I love the restaurant Fogo de Chao. Um, Probably like one of my favorite restaurants, but highly expensive, and definitely could not buy 10, 5, 10, 20 people Fogo de Chao. There's no way. And if you don't know what that is, it's a Brazilian steakhouse. I've been to the one in Brazil. Pretty cool. I think they're going public soon, actually. I think I just read that in an article that the parent company that owns them is going public. That's kind of interesting. Like if I'm a stockholder, can I pull up and get free steak? Kind of epic. Fire crystal. Ah, fire crystal. Oh, pizza. Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. Yeah, we can do pizza. Favorite type of pizza? Need to tell people about the deals in your live stream chat? What deals? Oh, yeah. Yeah, you can't pick if I'm paying. I had a Wagyu for the first time in Seattle. It was very good. This is fried. Something vegan? Wallace, you're vegan? I didn't know that. Vegetarian but don't eat dairy. Okay, well, I'm sure they make substitutes for pizza. There's substitutes for like everything now. Market manipulate the Fogo de Chao stock. Dude. I don't know if our following is. I don't know if the Lab TCG subscriber base is big enough to manipulate a public company stock. Maybe in the future. Maybe in the future. I'm okay on Foe. Like I don't know. I prefer. Wow. Before I get canceled, pho is what I meant. Um, the I'm not really big on pho. Like I really like ramen, but I don't know. I don't feel too great after eating pho. No, I don't sell singles for a penny. My floor price right now is 25 cents. Hey, Aurelius, how are you? We can. Yeah, I mean, there's definitely some shenanigans that could be pulled with that, but again, not trying to get banned from TCGplayer, to be honest. In Fairy Charms. Fairy Charm Lightning. I did not cause anything. What are you talking about? And the judge buyout only lasted a little bit because everyone's out here listing them for cheaper. Like this is a perfect example of like $4. I didn't secretly plan anything. What are you talking about? Like the judge play would have worked perfectly if people like the selling price on it. The history was $4, and people came in and started selling for $2. Like why? Like 350, 375, like any of those would have worked for like I don't know. It just like the $2 are gonna sell out because it's now the cheapest and with the largest quantity, but they would have sold out at 350 because they were selling consistently at 4. So I hope Carium is how you say it. Hey Carium, long time lurker, first time caller. What do you do with the cards that don't sell for 25 cents? I've been having trouble selling lots on eBay. Yeah, so the answer there normally would be sell them in lots. I've never sold. Well, when I first started with all this, I did sell lots on eBay, but I haven't sold lots on eBay in a long time. A lot of that was through Amazon or that stuff. But yeah, lots would have been my answer. Now I'm in TCGplayer Direct, so I kind of list everything that I have. Generally, I just let it sit. I mean, sometimes they come in and they'll buy like complete sets. It doesn't really hurt to have the inventory sitting there, especially if you're buying bulk for like a penny, a couple pennies. Your sunk cost on that stuff isn't it's gonna add up over time, but that stuff sells over time. So generally speaking, I just let them sit. I would bulk lot them, but since bulk lots aren't really selling as well anymore, then I just kind of let them sit. But that would be my answer. If you really wanted to liquidate them, I think Tachi did the math earlier, and it's like 10-cent floor price with 99-cent shipping, and you would break even. But that would be my answer. Hey, good. Thank you, Aurelius. Yeah, it's I did never expected it to get this far. I mean, even with the hiatus that I took, um, I wanted to be uploading, but with so much other stuff going on, it was just kind of hard to do that, and like without all the cards, like didn't really know what the point would have been for me uploading content while I was in Seattle. But glad to be back, and yeah, the channel grew way bigger than I ever expected it to. I mean, I would have expected it to grow a little bit if I was uploading, but the channel essentially doubled in size without me uploading. So a huge thank you to everyone here for supporting, sticking around. The comments and the feedback's great. But yeah, glad I can provide some valuable insights. I'm a huge fan of like side hustles and making money, and if I can help other people do it too, that's excellent. Now we're on to the G's. I feel like I missed conversation on the, but yeah, Kareem, if that's how you say it, feel free to add follow up questions. Glad to see you interacting. I saw some guy had 55 copies and had them all at $1.20. Yeah, it's like that's what I'm saying. Like the I know exactly what you're talking about. Like, why would you list them at $1.17 if they're selling for $4? Now that TCG Player has added price history into the listings, you can see what they're selling for. So it's like why? And like that listing in a sense kind of is what caused them to start going lower. I think buyouts of competitive cards are fun. They just don't happen often in Pokemon. Yeah. I mean, like I said in Discord, this could get really dangerous with the amount that I know about competitive and like there's like there's 379 people in Discord. You get a few of them to start buying stuff out and it just becomes like we shouldn't talk about this anymore. Yeah, the channel grew more without me, which is just wild. Yeah, yeah, I'm back. Yeah, Tachi, it's interesting. I think over time, like I think that interest has kind of waned a little bit because it was so much bigger in 2020, 2021. But yeah, like making money has become a lot more popular. I owe you what? Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. No, yeah, 100% I owe you. Faking as me. Which that was so funny. I think I was like in the office one day and I was like looking at my phone and I saw that and I was like, "Oh, this is hilarious." Like Wallace is pretending to be me in my absence. And I checked the Discord quite often actually. Like usually I wouldn't add my 2 cents to stuff, but I would read it quite often. So it was just I think what was mind blowing for me was like how active the Discord community got without me. And maybe it's because there isn't I don't know, you guys can tell me like why did you stick around if I wasn't there? Did like a community just kind of grow that, was unique in size because I mean like Danny's channel has its own community Discord, but that it's huge, so I could totally see like if it outgrows and the conversations never occur or anything, that would be a reason. But yeah, like what kept you around, I guess. This is where this sorting method doesn't really work is when you have a ton of cards in one letter because then it just gets so cramped. And I think really I just need a bigger desk. I was watching Pokemart USA's interview with Chase, TCG Bolt Kings, which was really cool. I didn't even know that was a thing until I saw his short on it, which kind of just came up. But it was interesting because he noted like space is one of the things that is like really hard to get more of. So I've been struggling with that issue for a long time. I just don't. I don't know. There's not a whole lot of reason for me to grow out of the space that I'm currently in. Um, and that just is a whole other thing I would have to deal with. Ghastly, Grubbin, Geodude, Traveler, Golbat, Glammy. Giovanni. Buyouts. Yeah, I mean there definitely are singles that like with a couple $100 you could easily just buy out. Zard tax 5x. True. I mean, there isn't a lot. I mean, there's a lot more now than there were. I mean, I remember one of the reasons I started the channel in the first place was because I had done so much research into what other people were doing in other mediums like Magic and Yu-Gi-Oh and all that stuff. But like no one ever talked about selling Pokemon cards except for Danny. And that's why like my channel started more as like documenting it, but then I was like, well, you know, I could just fill that spot. And I think now there's a lot more channels dedicated to selling Pokemon cards and trading cards in general. But for like 2015 through 2020, there really wasn't that many channels that I knew about. Right. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if you like selling bulk takes a lot of time, but if you put in the effort into it, or like just understand TCG player for your personal collection, you can make significantly more than selling it to some store or something. Um, so that is 100% right. I mean, there were friends over the pandemic that I taught them how to get into TCG player, and you know they make so much more money instead of having someone on Facebook like come and lowball them or whatever. Um, but for a long time, at least in like competitive Pokemon, what my friends and I all just did is we would just sell the cards on Facebook, like not even Facebook Marketplace. Just there were Facebook groups that are dedicated to selling Pokemon cards. Lots of competitive players go into them. They've been around for a long time. I mean, as long as I've been in competitive Pokemon, those groups have existed, and we would just go in there and like friends and family it up. So hopefully the IRS is not watching, but friends and family it up and just sell cards left and right. And yeah, it was an interesting place. Like there were definitely stores that went in there and would sell stuff. Um, the Facebook Marketplace was popping before it was Facebook Marketplace. I think Marketplace is relatively new in terms of like all that stuff. 5 and 2. Yeah, there was a community to keep us together, and knowing you were temporarily offline, I was willing to get to know the crew. Yeah, I'm glad that worked out. Do I get Japanese products? Not really. There was a while when I was kind of dedicated to trying to find a Japanese distributor, but I ended up just like all the US stuff was enough to handle. It is definitely something that like if longer term I want my business to grow, I'd love to start carrying that stuff. But for right now, no, I don't. I might have to pick Pokeani's brain a little bit and try and figure out how he did that. Because like it's just no one talks about it. I mean, rightfully so. It's highly sought after, and I would want to defend that stuff too. But you guys know me; I would just kind of tell you what I did. Hmm. Gotcha. I mean that makes sense. 8 hours of sorting, getting ready for the rotation. I feel like I've done like 8 hours of listing and stuff today too. Hey, it's good to have people that keep you on track. I mean, that's good that the Discord works for you guys. I'm really glad that's a good spot. Yeah, the rural areas for sure are better. I agree. I'm kind of surprised, Chase, that you haven't attempted to get into a distributor. I mean, like you can. I know people that have done kind of what you do, just like put a billboard up, and I think part of the verification process for the distribution is like you have to have a sign for your store, but they'll just like put a sign up, take a photo, and then apply and get through. Um, which is kind of funny, but I mean that could definitely work. I don't think you have to like routinely be open. I don't know. I could be wrong. I think that's what people do with TCG Player because when you're a hobby store, you can like pre-sale singles and stuff. And I think their verification process is like, do you have a sign on your store? If yes, can you show us the proof? I guess basically. So there's all sorts of little things, but yeah, it'd be interesting to see if you could take advantage of like just putting up a sign or something. Yeah, I don't. Well, I mean, perfect timing because Chonkachu's here now. But I've thought about getting into pack breaking, just because it sounds kind of fun. Um, but I don't know. I think yeah, I would agree. Maybe one of the best things about having the like pack or having a storefront warehouse type environment is that you can have people come to you for bulk pickups and all that stuff. Because I know it's like usually I just meet people in like a McDonald's parking lot and just I've done a few deals there just for safety. Hey, thank you, Chonkachu. The signage is 3 to 8K. Oh, okay. So they want like a full blown store with displays and everything. Gotcha. Do it what? Oh, do the pack breaking. I look. I'm gonna have to learn from an expert, Chonkachu. So maybe you'll have to teach me. I think my thing with pack breaking is like how would I make mine different? I guess there's price advantage if you have a distributor, but like so for example, I mean Chonkachu, I might even just hit you up for this stuff, or if you're interested, you can message me. Today I got an email from my distributor saying, "Hey, we have this bundle deal where you can get all these products for this amount, and it's like Silver Tempest booster boxes and which is great, like that's excellent, but the other stuff is like V Strikers tins from Furious or not Furious Fist, Battle Styles, and it's like those can't sell. So the only thing you could do with them is like break them open and take the packs. Um, so I think having a pack breaking outlet, and if people came, that would be an excellent way to just take stuff from the distributor and just like churn and burn it. Which some of the connections I've made that want the packs is good enough for sure. But stuff like this where it's like 1 week turnaround, I want to buy the stuff so that I can increase the allocation, but at the same time, like if I can't move the product, then I just have dead stock and can't use the capital for something else. Hey Colt, how are you? Thanks for joining up. Feel free to ask any questions or whatever. I'm just sorting and listing cards and kind of answering questions from chat. Yeah, Shopify is great. I mean, that's one of the next videos. Is going to be like an in-depth how to do Shopify. I'm thinking maybe the first like 30-minute video on the Lab TCG YouTube channel is how to create a Shopify store and like really deep diving all the things you can do with it, because it is so like there are so many things you can do with it. Even like changing the themes and setting the shipping and the taxes and all that stuff. Like it's really interesting. You'll take the tins. Perfect. If the allocation goes right, I think I'm gonna get 84 of them, so we can talk and work something out. Would you say it's still hard even now to get a distributor for an online only business? Yeah, 100%. Colt, like now is not the time. I mean, I've given a few tips in lives and stuff like that about how to get a distributor, but like they're not tested. It's more so, what is proper networking and what is good business practice for making people interested in like taking part in your business. But generally speaking, there's no like secret that I know on how to get a distributor. The truth is, I've had my distributors for 6 years, and I got lucky basically. Well, I didn't get lucky because I've been in this game for a long time, but in terms of like opportunity right now versus getting a new one, I guess is what I meant. Okay, yeah, chunks. I mean, you seem to have the bankroll to take this stuff, but I didn't. I wanted to make sure I got the allocations finalized first, and then I was gonna hit you up anyways. But yeah, I can always just let you know when stuff's coming up. I think it's Calyrex VMAX battle things, Fusion Strike ATBs, the tins, and Silver Tempest stuff. So we can definitely chat. I can sell them and make a profit. Tell me more, Tachi. Tell me more. I'm interested in breaking at some point of the year, but I need to figure out a way to get rid of the trash you accumulate breaking product. Oh, okay, yeah. I mean, at first I read the first couple of sentences comment, and I was like, that might be the silliest thing ever. Like, if I was breaking, I wouldn't be worried about the trash. But yeah, I guess if you live in like an area that charges you extra, yeah. Chase, I 100% agree with you. Okay, this could be a video in itself, to be honest. But maybe I'll hold it for a story time on just like how that whole thing works. Interestingly enough, so I did pre-orders for Scarlet and Violet, talked to a few people that I work with, and submitted the allocation or submitted the order. Had all of my stuff, like I put stuff up, took pre-orders for other people, had all the cash to cover it, and I like messed up because on the websites it's not 100% clear what the breakdown is between like units and cases, and then they started doing this weird thing where it's like, they're listing items as displays instead of as the units. So on build and battle kits, it used to be you would have to go in and like select 10 build and battle kits for a case of build and battle kits, but they switched it to where it's displays. But a case of displays is different than a case in a like basically the wording is different because like a display is one thing and a case is another, where it used to be one way or another. So I took all these orders, and someone wanted build and battle kits, I wanted to build and battle kits, so I put down 10. I wanted 10 units, which is one case, not realizing that I put down 10 cases of build and battle kits. And I was like, oh, no big deal. Of course, there's no way to actually edit the pre-order once you submit it. Interesting. So I email my sales rep, hey, I accidentally submitted 10 build and battle kit cases, so $1,200 something dollars. Can I change it to 1? No response. And to be honest, I completely forgot that I even did this. So 9 days later, I see like Gmail tell me, hey, you emailed this person, never got a response. And I was like, oh, wow, I completely forgot. Email again, no response. To this day, I still have no response. And like, I'm actively getting like, hey, you should order this new thing. You should order this new thing. And luckily, the wonderful people I work with like wanted that product. And if I was the one that was going to hold on to it, I would have just done something with it anyways. Like, it's not a big deal. It's kind of a cool situation to have because in reality, 10 cases is going to increase my spend. It's good for allocation. But it's like stuff like that where it's like, I've been working with this person for 6 years and like a fat finger mistake, and now I can't undo $1,000 purchase. Like what? So yeah, the relationship there is just something interesting. Yeah, cool. See you, Chunks. Have a great night. Good seeing you. So that's my little rant. I hope you enjoy that perspective. It's an interesting like it's not like a bad thing per se, but it's just annoying to me. It's like, and there was a different issue too, where I was trying to get my stuff drop shipped from the distributor straight to Amazon, which is a service they offered. And for weeks, I was like, this is like, I do not want this product coming to me. I want this to go to a fulfillment center. And like, after confirming that multiple times, setting everything up, sending the shipping labels to them to make that all happen, the products showed up at my door. Email, call, no information. It's like, whatever. So it's kind of like the relationship is not great, but I don't want to lose it, I guess, if that makes sense. Yeah. But I mean, this is why I'm a pretty big advocate for like make sure that you're not using leverage, because if I was leveraged in this spot and like leverage to begin with and then I screwed up that order, like that would have been so bad. Um so yeah, definitely like purchase what you can afford, and like sometimes even on pre-orders I'll go below what my capital threshold is because I don't want to get into a spot where I'm spending the money and then like can't pay for the thing. Even though I have credit cards, like I use tons of business credit cards, have a fantastic credit score. I just never want to be put in a situation in a pinch where I'm like damaging that stuff or taking out interest unnecessarily. Glamio. Yeah, no professionalism for sure. Because like it's just a money printer. I mean, I don't get it because like it's bad practice. But what am I gonna do? Say no? I don't want products anymore. What's Poke Japan? Like Pokemon Company Japan? That's why it seems smaller distributors are good, but they also don't have the stock. Yeah, yeah. Yep, exactly. Tachi is hitting it. Tachi is hitting it right on the nail. Yeah. And I mean, even like the email I got today, like the bundle is cool and all, but like, what are you gonna do with 42 V Striker tins that are selling at the cost I'm buying them on TCGplayer right now? But I mean, it's gonna be interesting. Like I've gotten to the point where you know, for at least a little bit, I know where I'm going to be living, and you know, I have some time to dedicate to the business, and the YouTube is growing and stuff, where it's getting to the point where like I don't fear being able to offload the product as much. So I'm starting to order more like non-booster box items, which was something I wasn't doing for a while. Um, and yeah, so we'll see. Like, I'll definitely document the process of getting higher allocations and stuff, because that in itself could be like its own lesson. And I haven't made any progress on making like a new distributor video, because when I make that, I want to make sure that's actually informative. Like, there's no point in me making an updated how to get a distributor video if it's not going to actually do anything to help anyone. So that's why, you know, I've done a few rebrandings of some of the videos that were already on the channel, but not that one. Interesting. There's a direct moderately played Gloom for $24,000 listed if anyone wants to cop. Or no, yeah, moderately played on TCGplayer Direct. That's funny. Golbat. Yeah, the distribution network seems like a problematic inefficiency. 100%. Hey, good night, Amory. Have a good night. There should be other kind of wholesale service better than just dumping on Amazon like Watsy. Yeah, it's kind of wild, but I mean they exist. It allows me to do what I do and others to do what they do. So it is what it is. It's not perfect, but you know, I don't know that I'm changing the system anytime soon. Golem, follow. Traveler. Well, I mean, what are you gonna regulate though? They're not not necessarily doing anything wrong. I mean, maybe like the situation I specifically just said, where they're like not undoing the order. That could not be great, but yeah, just bad business practices for sure. For Ninja Hollow, I remember like this card used to be a pretty good seller. I see it's still around 90 cents. I love just finding like commons and stuff that are worth more than normal, but I feel like it's happening less now than it used to, which kind of blows. I don't see, yeah. My distributor for MetaZoo is okay. They left off about $40 in product for my order. I emailed them, got a response 2 days later. Yeah, I haven't had an issue with like the product once it gets there, but sometimes some of the in between is a little funky. I mean, like, there's also blame on myself because I used to be able to phone call the guy when I first got into it, but my dad was still pretty involved at that point because like I was under 18. Like now everything's in my name, but um, like we talked to him on the phone a few times once, and it's the same rep, so who knows? Out of Giovanni's Hey, good night, Aurelius. Thanks for stopping in. Good talking to you. Ninja. All right. Ooh, Haunter Near Mint Reverse. 58 cents. Do I have any Haunters? Unfortunate. Alliance declined me. How are we trending to our 2023 goals? Curious if anyone's from the Discord, how's everyone doing with that? Hitmon top. Any. What is BT11? Pre-release highs. Being a bum. Yeah, Gustavo, I am. I have the TCGplayer pricing tab up on my main screen, and I'm just condition checking and sorting them. 5, 1. Oh, BT is Digimon. Gotcha. Well, boys, been sorting for an hour and a half, which I didn't get too much done, but I got a decent amount done. I still need to go to the gym tonight. So, before I go, anyone have any last questions for me, real quick, that I can answer? Let me go ahead and switch over to the webcam. Let me know if anyone has any questions before I hop off. We'll give it till 11:07 if no questions come in. Does Boo get mad at me for streaming so late? Bro, Boo. I don't know, Wallace. At this rate, you might win. Don't let him know that. Do you usually list a few pennies below or match? Yeah, my floor price is 25 cents. I've started matching market price though. I used to do TCGplayer low because I wanted the stuff to sell, but now I'm in no rush to sell anything. So I just match the market price, and then if it's under 25 cents, I just keep it at 25 cents. Sometimes if I have a bunch of cards, I will list higher. Like there's some situations I haven't talked about too much where I decide to raise my prices on certain things. So there's some strategy there, and it's not secretive or anything. It's just like if a card has 4 copies and it's playable, you should list it at a higher price than all the sellers that only have 1 card, because whoever wants that playset is probably going to be willing to pay more for all 4, especially if they can get it from one seller. So generally speaking, like there, other than stuff like that, I'll just like match the market price. And by market price, I mean like the listed market price on TCGplayer, not the market price of the other sellers. We're not quite there for posting gym picks, but eventually. Why did I stop playing the TCG? I was really good. A few reasons. So in would have been February 2020, like right before COVID was starting, I was 11th in North America and was on track to get top 16 for the world stipend and all that stuff. Um, I was really burnt out during that time because I'd been playing Pokemon for so long. Chasing the top 16 in US is very hard. You constantly have to be good. And like I guess I was in community college at this point. So most of my weekends were taken up by like playing Pokemon. And looking back, like I wish I was in that spot now because it was a ton of fun. But at the time I was really burnt out. So when COVID actually started, at first it was like a breath of relief. It was like, oh, like this break that I wasn't expecting to get, I got. Then that turned into 2 years. And, you know, 2 years of not playing Pokemon, my interest just kind of faded. Like, I didn't really care for playing the online game. I still love playing the game. Like, I have old deck collections, and sometimes I'll go to the tournaments and catch up with people I used to play with. But, playing online wasn't the same. And my life had changed so much from when I was playing Pokemon and being super obsessive about Pokemon over the 2 years of COVID that, I started working full time. I was back in school, basically full time at the same time, running this business that I just didn't have time. And then the current job I have, there's just no way I could take time off for playing in Pokemon tournaments. So really, it's just like a time thing. If I had more time, I would probably do it. But it's very expensive, takes a lot of money, a lot of time, and to be good at it, you have to put in crazy amounts of time. So it's like time and money. Like the spending the money on the trips is not so much the problem anymore, but it's like just time really. So I hope that answers the question. But yeah, I did love it, and hopefully my knowledge of the card game kind of comes through in the videos and provides some extra insight that you might not see elsewhere. Boo, can I get mad if you I learned the 25-cent floor from you. Nice tip for the multiples. Yeah, no problem. It's just not worth selling certain cards under a certain price, and I'm not gonna sit here and sell cards for 5 cents. Like, no way. So yeah, glad that helps out. You have to have a distributor, Gustavo. But yeah, I'll wait one more minute for any more questions. If not, I'm gonna hop off live. I'll upload on Tuesday. I'm thinking either a video about graded cards. I just got some cool graded cards back that are on display, so I don't have them next to me. So I'm thinking about video about graded cards, and there's a PSA special going on right now that's kind of interesting, or an in-depth guide to Shopify. So we'll see. Uh, we'll see which one works there. But that's probably going to be Tuesday's upload. Um, if you guys have ideas for YouTube Shorts, let me know. I'm I don't know. I don't really understand all that stuff. Like I mean I understand how it works, but I don't know how to apply it to the current content that I do. So hopefully the you liked the little case video if you haven't seen that one, where I shipped off the $2,000 case. Yeah, Gustavo, you have to order from distributors and submit the invoices to them. Shopify? Okay. I can do that. So this weekend I'll spend some time poking around in Shopify. I think what I'm gonna do is just like build a new store, like set up a new Shopify account, build a brand new store, and kind of like walk through the process, like a 30-minute video, just how to do everything. How much is my collection worth? 30 grand, something like that. Cool. See you, Chase. Have a good night. Yeah, I'll see you in Discord, Ragnarok. Well, I'm gonna do streams once a month. Maybe we'll increase the pace, and I'll definitely figure out other things to do too. But yeah, cool. All right. Well, I'm gonna call it there. Have a good night, everyone. Feel free to email me with questions, or you can find me in Discord. I'm pretty active there, and don't be afraid to just at my name. Like, I get so many notifications about all sorts of stuff. I'm not gonna mind if you just tag me. So feel free to just tag me. Definitely worth more than 30K. I mean, I don't know. I think you'd be surprised. Maybe those Champions Festivals add a little extra spice. Those are not included in that. So maybe 36 or something. But yeah, always happy to help out. Let me know if you guys need